Do, do, do. Hello, this is Will, your host of the SHIB Worldwide 50 Raffle update, and we're going to give you an update on the raffle. But first, we're going to get into the website. We want to make this an extravaganza of epic proportions by hosting a massive, massive welcome back for everybody. So we haven't done any raffle draws, and the reason why that is because we don't have we don't have enough people going onto the website checking us out. Need a lot more than 6 people and 24 views, or is it 12 people? No, it's 6 people, 24 views on the channel, on the website. Sorry. Yes, this is SHIB Worldwide 50 Raffle with live update. We do not have enough people buying tickets at this time to host a raffle. The website, the new website, is new and improved. I'm hoping that we'll be able to launch it on the 12th to commemorate the Vladimir Putin burn back in 2021, where he burned 410 trillion SHIB. And it laid the groundwork for the massive bull run at the end of August of 2021, which was the exact same time that Satoshi Kusama laid the groundwork for their projects, and then said that they were part of the SHIB ecosystem development team, which have zero to do with SHIB, because SHIB was created back in 2020 by Ryoshi, and Ryoshi gave Vladimir Putin 500 trillion SHIB back in February of 2021. 2021 of May, Vladimir Putin builds dead-end wallet for SHIB. Because SHIB was going down, he wanted to use the reduction wallets, so to write off massive SHIB to offset paying taxes. I want to say that again. He used it to write off paying taxes. Now, what he couldn't foresee coming to fruition was the massive amount of climbs that SHIB would go through. SHIB jumped up. Hey, Dumpy, hello. Massive love show to you. So when you come on, make sure you say where you're from so we can give a massive shout out to your country, your region, or your province, where you're hailing from. So yeah, we're talking about SHIB and the fact that we can't host a raffle. Canada, yay! Corey, weather, Canada here, woo! Corey, massive love, shout out to our fellow Canadians, woo! And yes, we're talking about SHIB. So where are you from in Canada? You in Alberta? Are you guys ready for what comes next? Cooper, hello, Cooper, how are you doing? Massive love shout to everybody. Massive love shout to Cooper. Toronto, massive love shout to you. Corey, Newfoundland, fellow Newfoundlander, wow. Are you a townie? We are fantastic, right? We want to make sure that everybody has a great time here. This is, we don't want to call it a safe place, but this is an awesome place. We always want to have an awesome time when we come on here. You're a townie. Oh, no, no, no. Yes, that means he's from St. John's. Yeah. Awesome. Nothing wrong with Gander, right? Their international airport in Newfoundland. From the suburbs. That's awesome. Yeah, we're from Calgary, if you haven't noticed, but yeah, we host the SHIB 50/50 raffle from Calgary. And yeah, we want to get the raffle going. The new website should be ready by May 12th to conglomerate Vladimir Putin's 410 trillion that he did back in 2021 of May 12th. That's right. Massive burns. That started the SHIB bull run. It didn't happen until the end of August, though. And then it ran right up until January, the first week of January, 2022. I play poker? No. I teach poker, but I don't play poker. No. Sleepy, no. Well, that's funny. No, I will not be addressing allegations of the lurking in the woods. Sorry. We will. We only talk about SHIB, cryptocurrency. And why is SHIB considered the #1 cryptocurrency of all time? That's what we talk about. And the fact that the reason why we cover SHIB so much is because a few things that people miss out on. Mark. Anthony, massive love shout out to you. Massive love shout out to Sleepy. Sorry, Sleepy. Massive love shout out to you. Let's see if I can do some moderation. Corey will get you in here. Cooper, hold on to your party hats. I'll get you all in here as moderators. Why? Anthony, Mark, we don't want to carry on in the wood. We don't want to carry on in the wood and go after any antagonistic. We try not to be, we want to be self-broadcasting, right? We want to make sure that everybody has a great time here. So we want to make sure that we don't want to ruffle any feathers. Stir up any mess. We want to make sure that everybody has a great time. So how do we have a great time and celebrate? Share with everybody how to create an awesome environment. Wealth creation, that's our #1 goal here, is to create wealth, or to show you how to get wealth, just in SHIB alone. And what others miss, because majority of what people go through is what we miss coming forth. Yes, I include you, Mark. We're good to go. So, what brings you on, and what would you like to talk about? How do you spell that? Question mark. What is it that you want me to spell? Oh, SHIB, not SHIP, SHIB, SHIB. So if you want to look it up on the crypto exchanges, it's SHIB. It's number 15 right now on the top crypto. It is also the cheapest of the top 50 cryptocurrencies. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, website is shib5050raffle.com. The website is up and running, but the new website is where we want to focus our attention to. Vitalik Buterin burned 410 trillion SHIB. That's 41% of the total SHIB supply back in 2021. That followed by a 72,000% increase. We want to do the exact same thing, of course. Everyone does, right? Want a 72,000% increase? Absolutely. Who doesn't? Return just a few dollars into millions of dollars in 4 or 5 months. I mean, who doesn't want that? Now, every time we do a massive burn in SHIB, the first thing that happens, for some reason, I'm not sure why, less supply, more demand, it should drive it up, right? Every time SHIB does a massive burn or reduction, SHIB sells off 20, 30%. No joke. No joke. Every single time we do a massive reduction in SHIB circulating supply, a massive sell-off follows it. Now, the last one we did, massive burn, was from Ethereum. Now, they did 3 of them. And it never took off when it did the first one in November of last year, 2024. 2024, November? Oh, it was 2023, sorry. 2023, November of 2023. Ethereum burns, I think it was 16, 17 billion. What's it selling at today? Okay, hold on a second. SHIB is 4 zeros, 0.4013, 15 USDT. What does that mean? $15 buys you 1 million SHIB. $15 of Bitcoin doesn't even buy you 1 millionth of a Bitcoin. just in comparison. So, how much do you invest? Or how much should you invest? We want everybody to look at this as a lottery ticket, okay? SHIB doesn't cost anything really to get into, but because of the volatility of SHIB, we strongly suggest you use it like a lottery ticket. And what happens when you don't win on a lottery ticket? You discard the ticket, it's no big deal. Exact same idea with SHIB. You have it, you buy into it every week, every 2 weeks, every month. It really doesn't matter. Thoughts on XRP? Ripple is a company traded on the NASDAQ. It owns XRP. So it has governance. So anything that has governance has a stepping back idea. Does that make any sense to anybody? You understand what that means? When you have governance, SHIB doesn't have, SHIB does not have governance. It's a circulating, it's a currency that is constantly working for you. It's investors for investors. Okay, it has no ability to manipulate the marketplace. It has zero governance, which means it doesn't have anybody behind it. XRP has a collective. It has a board of directors. It has, and those directors direct what decisions it's going to make in the future. Now, they have on XRP, to be fair, they do have a reduction that's happening. But you have to understand something. At any given time that they get into trouble and they need to get financial backing, they can mint as many coins as they wish. Take a look at Kronos. Kronos is a great company. It's also a coin. And they thought that Crypto.com was going to bail them out if they ever made a mistake. What did Crypto.com do? They distanced themselves away from Kronos. Kronos burned 75 million of their coins. Now, what did they just do? They just minted 78 million of their coins, or 78 billion of their coins. So they eradicated everything they burned. The exact same thing can happen with XRP. Now, SHIB, SHIB, can't ever do that. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that love XRP. It went from roughly 30 cents, 35 cents, all the way to $3. I mean, who doesn't love that? That's 3 times your money, right? 10 times your money, sorry, 10 times your money. Of course, everybody loves that. And yes, thank you, T. Here, hold on a second here. I'll get you, get you in as a moderator. There you go, T. Yeah, so we want to make sure, Anthony, Anthony, Mark, I have you as a moderator too. Thank you for coming in, and massive love shout out to T. Everybody comes in, of course, we want to say massive love shout out to you. We want to keep this a safe place. We don't want to get into too many different currencies, but I'm more than willing to go over each of them specifically. If XRP somehow, some way wanted to buy SHIB, would you hold it against them? Absolutely not. Holding for the long term. You got to remember that you're holding Ripple. Okay, it's also on the stock exchange. And any money that's coming into XRP that you think is going to be designated to XRP, because the government, the US government owes XRP a big sum of money. That's why they got that big jump. But what's happening is that XRP isn't taking the money. Ripple is getting that money for their stockholders. You see where the unfairity comes in when it goes both ways? That Ripple is taking advantage of XRP going to court and fighting with the SEO. Because they went there, I think it was two times with the SEO, and they won both times. And there's a huge amount of settlement from the government to Ripple. Well, it's going to go to Ripple. It's actually supposed to benefit XRP, but I guarantee you it's not going to go to XRP. It's going to go straight to Ripple because of the shareholders that is in their securities. So it looks better on their books than it does on XRP's books. And will there be a reduction? Yeah, possibly. But wouldn't it be in their best interest to buy SHIB and then start reducing SHIB circulating supply to increase their own wealth? Again, this is why we cover SHIB so much. Yeah, no problem, T. No problem. So that's why you have a big rise in XRPs, because of that settlement from the US. Now, it still hasn't been paid out yet. And if it has, it's probably going to be behind closed doors. And I'm guaranteeing you it's going to go to Ripple, and it will be posted on Ripple, right? And the reason for that is it's going to, for the shareholders, so that, hey, we made this much money, we're benefiting the shareholders of Ripple, we're fulfilling our obligations, right? Anything happens to Ripple, they're going to go back to XRP and ask them for the funds. Believe that? That's exactly what's going to happen. Then Ripple will have to do a couple of things, going to do some adjustments. They can do reverse splits because it's governed. Got to remember, it's governed, okay? So there's a wage there. There's people that got to get paid. It's just like governments. If you make a mistake, overspending, underspending, didn't cover this, went through this expenditure and it didn't pan out, who's going to be on the hook for that? Well, someone's going to be on the hook for it because it's overspending, either advertising or R&D that didn't work out, and then you're going to do more R&D. Then you have to go back to the people that are invested in that organization. They don't even go back to the organization to ask. They just start doing stuff on their own. They don't ask you for a vote. They just do what they have to solidify their own means, not your means. It's all about them. Remember, most of the cryptocurrencies that are out there are financial institutions that failed at some point on the stock exchanges. They became pink sheets, they went bankrupt, and hey, wait a second, we can start a massive movement in cryptocurrency because there's no regulations. So we're given a second chance to do things better. And some of them do, majority of them don't. They follow in the exact same footsteps that they did in their previous. And it's okay when things are going good But as soon as things turn bad, that's when things start to get whitewashed, right? Everybody starts to understand what that means for every single person that's out there. And that's why we cover only SHIB. Zero governance, zero accountability. No. Don't mix the two, okay? The accountability is on the investors. So if you don't like it, promote it. Because it has no governing body. So there's no advertising in SHIB, okay? There's no analysts covering SHIB. Don't listen to the ecosystem development team. The ecosystem development team did not come into SHIB until 2021 of August, the end of August. That's 1 year after it was created. Flutter Buterin. Okay, so we have two miracles that happened in SHIB. The first miracle is Ryoshi mints 1 quillion SHIB. That's not the miracle. The miracle is after, what was it, January? No, December, same year, 2020. Ryoshi decides to throw away the keys to SHIB. Now, whoever Ryoshi is, he was the founder of SHIB. He's the only founder of SHIB. He turfed the keys in December of the same year of 2020. SHIB wasn't going anywhere. It was around 10 zeros, 9 zeros, 10 zeros, 9 zeros, 10 zeros, you know, like 0.0000010 zeros. Okay? A lot of people bought massive amounts with $400. And then when they watched it go down 20, 30%, they bailed. Because it's still a massive number. 1 quadrillion. 1 quadrillion, not 1 quadrillion. 1 quadrillion SHIB in circulating supply. Way too many. Way too many. But the price is right. You can buy literally trillions for like 500, within $10,000 bought you almost half the supply of SHIB. It's ridiculous. But no one's going to spend that kind of money on a new meme coin that just came out based on a dog chasing another dog over a toy. Even as funny as it was, that's not going to happen. Mr. Ferris, hi, how are you? Okay, hold on a second, Mr. Ferris. I'm going to get right into that. It's a good point. Do you know that every rug pull that ever happened, what happens to the cryptocurrency? Does it drop off the face of the earth? Oh, hell no, it's still there. Believe it or not, the cryptocurrencies that don't go anywhere or don't seem like they go anywhere are still around today. Take Luna. Luna claimed bankruptcy. The founders claimed bankruptcy, so they're no longer covering Luna. But Luna, you can still get Luna. You can still buy Luna. You're just paying a lot less for it because everybody's basically bailed on it. Yeah, massive love shout to you, Mr. Pears. Yeah, so just because something dies doesn't mean it died. It just means that it's not on the radar anymore because the volume has gone to nothing. Okay? And that's like a lot of cryptocurrency. Like right now we have 18,830. Can you believe this? 18,813 cryptocurrencies on the marketplace. Before, it was unheard of to get 1,000 cryptocurrencies before. Like the amount of cryptocurrencies that are now available in the marketplace is insane. And that takes away from all the projects that are actually making money. Because everybody wants to make the fast buck. Here's the truth of it. There's a lot of them that make a fast buck. Are they new? No. Look at XRP. Last year, XRP, just a few months ago, XRP was trading at 30 cents US. Okay, trading around 30 cents US. All of a sudden, it hit 52 cents US, 72 cents US. $1.05, $2.13, $3.40. Like, it went to almost $5 Canadian. Insane, right? You could have made a lot of money if you would have bought it at 75 cents Canadian, just less than a year ago, right? We made a fortune. Will XRP go up? It's a good question. It's a valid question. Who knows? Solana, should Solana go up? We get into a bull run, all of them are going to go up. Every single currency is going to go up. They're going to go up at different intervals, but they will all go up because everybody starts to take crypto very, very seriously because it's a good money making. It's good money making, and the halving is every 4 years. So the amount of money that you're going to make between now and the end of the year, toward the later part of 2026, the beginning of 2026, you'll make a fortune between now and then. But the massive gains are not until the end of August. That's when the bull run takes off. Like completely, utterly takes off. Okay, Anthony Mark. I'm on every night, or I'm supposed to be on every night because I'm supposed to be hosting this raffle draw for SHIB to reduce SHIB circulating supply. The more people we get to the channel, the more we reduce SHIB circulating supply. We take 80% of everything that we make gross from SHIB and we reduce the circulating supply live. Hold on, Mr. Fair. I'm trying to read what you're reading here. Giving the ruling that is decentralized outside Bitcoin. Okay. XRP is decentralized. How is it decentralized exactly? Everybody likes to think that their currency is decentralized. It's a phenomenal thing. I love it because where is it created, and then who can buy it? Okay, decentralized. Does anyone know what decentralized means? Besides not having any regulations or security, because do you know what a security is? XRP went to court twice over security issues. They beat it both times, by the way. They spent a lot of money in court fees, but they beat it. And for whatever reason, except for the fact that they don't have a direct utility line for that currency, but they're associated with Ripple, and Ripple is a security. So I don't know if they've used the possibility that Ripple owns it and it is a security driven, and the decentralization is based on their whereabouts exactly outside the US on a international waters. Who knows? That's majority of the decentralization is in universe. It's untouchable, basically, is what it comes down to. It's like it's untouchable because it's in international waters. So if it's in international waters, it has no derivative of any country code or conduct of an exchange. So like it's not on Merrill Lynch, it's not on the NASDAQ, Dow Jones, DAX, it's not on the Frankfurt exchanges, it's not in the UK. Okay, so the judge didn't rule if it was decentralized or not. They ruled on if it was a security. The thing is that the U.S. is making money either way you look at it, right? The SEO they're making money because of Ripple. Ripple has to pay fees to the exchange to operate in the U.S. So that's the whole key. That's why they're going after these cryptocurrencies in the first place, is to get them to pay their fair share, whatever their fair share may be. But that was why they're going after them. Wasn't because they're thinking of they're decentralized or not regulated or whatever. It was to go after them for the money, plain and simple. All they want to do is get you, hey, listen, you're working in our country, you're taking in our money from investors. We want to make sure we get our fair shake. That's why they went to court. Now they're saying, oh no, it's because you're a security. Well, Ripple is a security, and yes, they pay the government. So you see where there's a bit of a rug, like a little tug and pull. So they can say whatever they like, but the truth of the matter is Ripple is untouchable because of, XRP is untouchable because of Ripple. The US government can't go after XRP, that it would be like going after crypto.com, Robinhood. They can't touch those. They're on the exchange. Crypto.com deals in US dollars. USDT is US dollars. So that's why they can't touch those companies, because they're already associated with the US. So that's why they can't, that's why they don't go after crypto.com. Chronos is like, those are untouchable. Exact same thing. The decentralization is basically the decentralization from those coins' point of view, because they do have governance. That means they have wages. So you got to keep that in mind. When you're dealing with those as a financial institution, do I agree with the judge on it? They have no choice but to back out, because regardless of what you think or what you do, what it basically comes down to is they are a security based in Ripple, but Ripple's paying the security fees associated with the regulations. Untouchable. And it's a guaranteed you're going to lose. But that wasn't the point of it. The point of it was somebody wants to buy it for nothing. Who wants to buy it? Your guess is as good as mine, unless you follow the money. So you have to follow the money. So who benefited the most? Who bought the most when it went down? That's the one. That's the basics of it. SHIB doesn't have, it has zero governance. Zero. So it's similar to Bitcoin. So SHIB and Bitcoin are the only ones that have zero governance. SHIB has got some advantages over Bitcoin, but a lot of people don't see that, because SHIB is trading at 4015 currently. That's right. That's what they said. XRP is not a security. And every time you take them to court over it, it's going to fail. Do you know why? Because it's associated with Ripple. Period. It's just like crypto.com. Are they going to take Chronos to court and fight over security? That's really ridiculous, because it's backed in USDT. You can, absolutely. Not talking about Ripple. Ripple owns XRP. They own it. You see how ridiculous it was then, the fight over something that's owned by something else? As you say, thousands. Yeah, 18,813 coins that are out there currently. And yes, there's a lot of them. Well, we all know, right? A lot of them are not even worth the paper they're written on. But they're still around. They're still around. Just because it went bankrupt, or the people that were behind it went bankrupt, the coins are still there. They never take them off the exchanges. They take them off their exchanges that were trading on them, absolutely. Like Binance would take it off their exchange. But if you go to Uniswap, you can find them simply. Just go to Uniswap. MetaMask, most of the stuff that's still there on MetaMask, you still use it to buy or swap coins. Not that you'd want to, like you like losing money, because you know that it's got zero ability to do that. Yeah, I know that you didn't want to talk about Ripple, but the fact of the matter is, this is why I wanted to go over it, because it's owned and operated. Well, it's not owned and operated, but it is owned by Ripple. It's associated with Ripple. XRP is. I know that a lot of people don't understand that, but that's the truth of it. That's why when they overstipulate, it's like, why the hell would you do that? You know, just going into something that's, again, why do they do it? Why did the SEO stopped the NFTs or ETFs on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got zero, no governance, completely decentralized. But what happened? It happened 3 times, by the way, guys. This happened 3 times. I'm going to give you examples. 2023. Everybody remember this? NFT gets announced for US, for Bitcoin. What was it? It's a singled out NFT on its own. NFT for Bitcoin. Bitcoin only. BlackRock wants Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's trading price is 28,000. They don't want to pay 28,000. Okay, so does everybody remember who the SEO was at that time that started this kerfuffle? Because he was under Joe Biden. And it was all about money. It had nothing to do with anything. It was all about money. How can I make more money? So do I. Right. Exactly. How do I make more money? Well, you buy something for nothing and sell it for a lot more. Right? Where was it we heard that from? Gene Hackman in Superman. How do I buy more land and then transfer that wealth to everyone else by having beachfront property when it was useless property before? Create a St. Dry Asphalt. There you have the new land, my land, and I'm charging, I bought it for $5,000 an acre, and now I'm selling 120 by 140 for $500,000, just the land. That's exactly how it works. So what happened to Bitcoin back in 2023? NFTs are announced. Is it NFTs or ETFs? ETFs are announced. The SEO comes in and says what? It won't go. Sorry, we're looking into it. BlackRock and the SEO, and how do you know this? 3 days before this announcement, somebody wants something for nothing. SEO makes a statement. 3 days later, Bitcoin drops from 28,000, 19,000. As soon as it hit 18,900, the buying comes in, right up to 24,000. Wonder who was buying. Fast forward. November. You guys remember this story, right? November, same year, 2023. ETFs. Spot ETF coming out for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at almost 30,000. SEO makes another statement. I'm sorry, but it doesn't meet the regulation requirements for Bitcoin to join a spot ETF. It sells off back to 24,000. Oh, when it hits 24.3, a massive buying comes in and it shoots right back up to 27,000 in 3 days. Same process, same amount of time, 3 days. Okay, fast forward again, 2024, January 20th, right? Roughly around 20th to the 30th of January. The final cut before Bitcoin's announced its spot ETF. The SEO comes out and says Bitcoin is trading around 35 to 39,000 USDT back then. What happens? He makes a statement saying that it's not ready, it doesn't have all the filings that it needs to, so it's on hold. The market sells off again, back to 29,200. Again, another jump in from somebody from another source drives it right back up to 36,000. Now it was at 39, now it's at 36,000. What is that gap? That is somebody trying to buy something from nothing. The ETF comes out 2 weeks later. What happens to Bitcoin? 71,000. 71,000. It almost hit all-time high because of the ETF. Then it sold off. It went back to 60,000. And then a little time passes, June, July, we get a massive run. We go from 61,000 all the way to 82. Nice, huh? Wonder who made the money. And BlackRock was the one making the announcements. So they weren't hiding the fact that they were using the CEO or the SEO of the US to do their bidding, to make the money. I wonder what the SEO got for a kickback. You can bet there was a lot of money because BlackRock made a lot of money on other people's fear because they were selling off. Like they knew exactly what they were doing. There are so many people who don't know anything in cryptocurrency. And this was their way of proving it to the world. And they keep doing it. They keep flexing their muscles. And people fall for it. Just recently, same thing happened. BlackRock sells at 102. 102. Their buyback in, 81. 82,000. Where does Bitcoin go? Right back up to 103, 104 on tariff fears. Again, exact same format. And how do they get away with it? Because they can. Everything based on fear. Okay? They're able to manipulate it. SHIB can be manipulated the exact same way. Absolutely. All cryptocurrencies can. So you have to ask yourself, who's buying and why are they forcing people to sell it? They're just trying to fearmonger their way in. And because of their power and influence, they're able to do that. Is it fair? Well, if you want to believe them, yes, absolutely, right? Might want to follow them, actually, because at least then you're going to make some money. You're going to make good money because it's guaranteed, right? Once they do something and then they sell it, you might as well be right alongside of them and sell it too, because you know you're going to be able to buy it back because they're not buying it back until it gets to their price target, which is a lot lower than where it sits. Like $20,000 jump. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Bitcoin went to 77,000. They were buying it at 80. So they weren't buying it when it hit the low. They were buying it, waiting for a rebound, and then they were buying it more. Because the tariffs are coming to it for all the companies that are talking about tariffs are coming to fruition, and now the tariffs are looking like they're going to get subsided. So they got to make a stand, because if we don't, we're going to get whitewashed out. We don't want that. We want to be part of that mix. And you don't think there's insider trading going on? Absolutely. But what can you do about it on a non-regulation basis? Just like Trump, right? The Trump coin. Everybody remember the Trump coin? Pump and dump. It beat SHIB tenfold, right? It went up to, what was it, $40 billion market cap in what, a week? From nothing, rose to $40 billion market cap. Now it's sitting at $3 to $4 billion market cap. Or is it $2 billion? I don't know. I think it's number 28 on the top crypto exchanges. And Milena coin is at, I think, around 70 to 80. Another pump and dump. Everyone that's interested. What makes SHIB the best? Reduction. It's the golden goose, my friends. It's the golden goose. Here's the trick. Not everyone gets it. But I'm going to share with you something. I hope you're all listening and tuning in really carefully. Why is SHIB the golden goose? And how do you get the golden goose to lay golden eggs? Well, SHIB, only way you can reduce or get the golden goose to lay the golden eggs is to reduce the circulating supply. Now, you can bring in more wallet holders, but that won't do it. In the past, to reduce the circulating supply was the only way to get the golden eggs. Vladimir Buterin burned 41% of the supply. It took 3 months, 4 months, because he burned it in May 12th. That's exactly when we want to launch the new website, by the way, May 12th. So that we can also follow suit and burn massive amounts of SHIB. Now, it took 4 months for SHIB to make its big run, 72,000%. No other coin in history has gained as much attention as SHIB. Pepe came close, but SHIB killed all of them. Hands down. It created such a panic. Even to this day, they're fearful of the amount of SHIB could explode. It has stopped every single exchange on the market when they adopted SHIB on their own. Binance didn't stop Binance. It slowed it down, but it didn't stop it. But what they did do was something they promised they would never ever do. Take other coins off the exchange temporarily and give SHIB more servers to handle the volume. I'm going to say it again. They took more servers from other cryptocurrencies to handle the backload of the volume of SHIB coming in and being sold and bought on a minute by minute, second by second basis. No word of a lie. And it's done it to Robinhood. Robinhood actually shut down for 36 hours when they finally moved over. Now, Robinhood owns roughly about 120 trillion SHIB. And they have the lowest fees in the world. But you can only buy Robinhood from the US and the UK. Those are the only two places that you can trade on Robinhood. Go figure. So what does that mean for the rest of the world? Well, Binance owns a massive amount of SHIB. Massive amount of SHIB. But that's on their exchange. So God only knows how much is actually owned by them. But they are reducing SHIB circulating supply quarter by quarter basis. 1 billion SHIB every quarter. Now, can SHIB mint any coins? No. It's investors for investors. It has no keys left. Those keys are destroyed. Miracle 1. Miracle 2, Vladimir Buterin, May 12th, 2021, makes one dead-end wallet. Later on, we have 2 more added. 2 more dead-end wallets added by Vladimir Buterin. Vladimir Buterin and the Ethereum blockchain owned SHIB at that time. Everything traded on their exchanges. They even had to shut down from the massive amount of volume that was being traded. They weren't prepared for it. And they shut down twice to handle the volume. Now, you think about that. That's a layer 1 blockchain, and they even had to shut down, and they introduced it to their Ethereum blockchain network. No word of a lie. Okay, you can look it up. It's awesome. But when everything's said and done, they made so much money that they were charging $300 to $400 per transaction gas fees because they couldn't keep the volume down on all the cryptocurrencies because we were in a bull run. So they had a massive problem. And they kept charging more and more money for people to do the exchange. But SHIB was like on fire. It was just, people just wanted in and out, in and out. There was so much money to be made, billions of dollars being sent back and forth. And then people were becoming multimillionaires overnight on very little investment, $500, $600 investments, making millions of dollars off of it. Now, can that happen again? We hope so. With the SHIB 50-50 raffle, absolutely. We want everybody to win because everybody wins in the raffle. 50% goes towards the winner. 50% goes back to the community. You, everybody in SHIB. Of course, you might want to be holding the golden goose to get the golden eggs, right? Everybody wants to be rich, showing you how. But just because we burn it doesn't mean it's going to go up right away. And this happened twice, by the way. The second time was by Shibarium. Shibarium burned 56 billion. Took 3 months to burn 56 billion. And then it took 2 months for people to realize there's actually less supply. Believe it or not, that's exactly it. March, first week of March 3rd, 4th, SHIB explodes. It goes 6x, 6 times its money in less than 35 days. It goes up fast. Okay? But what did the exchanges learn from the previous? Nothing. They did nothing. Just like Ethereum did nothing by reducing the circulating supply. They were making all this money. All this money's pouring in. Lunatic World. Lunatic World. Hello. Massive low shout out. Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin. 103, right? 103, 104. Back up to where it was before. Woo! Everybody loves Bitcoin. We tell everybody not to buy Bitcoin. Buy the G2. What is it? G2? It's an app. But you can buy the mining in Bitcoin, which makes you money every single day that you're mining it. So yeah, if you want the links to the G2, I will post them on the bottom later on tonight. If you want that link. If you don't want the link, then let me know. Lunatic World, we're gonna do it because we want to do a massive love shout out. Where are you from? Make sure you put down where you're from. There you go, buddy. Yeah. So I hope everybody learned something by tonight. I know that have your own ideas of how things are supposed to work. A lot of people like ICP. Not a big fan. DOT, I was in DOT. I like DOT. DOT was giving me good dividends, but it's not going anywhere. It's actually not great. It's good. It's awesome, but it's not great. But it's awesome. Yes, it is awesome. It pays dividends. Is it cheap? It is relatively cheap, but they have a massive spending problem. They have the new projects they want to get out. That's causing this is what I'm talking about, everybody. This R&D is not cheap, okay? So when you're doing R&D and something doesn't go right, you got to go back to the drawing board. You have to pay more people, more professionals. That costs even more money. If it doesn't pan out, you're on the hook for the whole thing. Then you got to make a decision. Do I pay the dividends? Do I cut back the dividends? Do I need to mint more coins so that we can get this project finished? All these things weigh in when you make mistakes. And it's easy to make mistakes when you're trying to build something. It's not exactly easy. And that's the whole thing. That's why we try and tell everybody, stay away from those, because it's unregulated. They're not, yeah, it's decentralized, so you can't go after them. It's a deregulation. Big warnings on it too when you go on to the exchanges and you ask them about starting up your portfolio. The first thing they ask you, you do know that this is a high risk investment, that you could lose everything that you put into it. There's a reason why they say that, so that they can't be sued later on. And if you looked at most of the exchanges, there's no direct phone numbers. It's all email correspondence. If it's all email correspondence, they can answer you in a timely fashion. No direct relationship to you whatsoever. That's why it's so important to try and avoid them as much as possible. But if you want information on them, there's always, they have bots now that answer you pretty quickly, but they only give you a derivative of what the full scope of what everyone's asking. So FAQs. Why do we cover SHIB? That's why we cover SHIB, because SHIB is completely on its own. It's cheap enough to everybody to afford it, and we share that information with you on our website, so that everything we say here follows the exact same path as on the website. And the website again is shib5050raffle.com. So, and we need 300 to 400,000 people to visit the site daily to make it successful. We need 1,063 people to buy SHIB raffle tickets. Those tickets are extremely cheap. We put them in pounds. They're all in SHIB. Everything's in SHIB. The only way we were able to host this event, a worldwide event, is in SHIB, because SHIB is zero governance and it's not legal tender anywhere in the world. So if it's not legal tender, they can't do anything about it. It's completely decentralized. If you wanted me to, I could ask every single person on the planet, excuse me, I'm Will, I want to host a 50-50 raffle to benefit everybody in SHIB. What do you say? Well, what are you going to do with it? Well, we're going to take 50%, we're going to give it to the winner. Then we're going to take 50% and give it to the whole SHIB community as a reduction in SHIB circulating supply. So it's a win-win situation. Everybody wins in this raffle. Nobody loses. Everybody's a winner. We have no losers. Everybody wins. Everybody makes money. So if everybody makes money, how come it's not being promoted? Exactly. If everybody wins, why isn't it being promoted? In fact, it should be promoted to every single person on the planet, shouldn't it? Exactly. Exactly. And I know what you're thinking. I do have a trustee. You have to have a trustee to have any raffle. One, integrity, of course. And then our foundation, right? So what are the foundation rules? Of course, family and friends cannot participate in the raffle whatsoever. Our cousins, or friends and family shouldn't be allowed to buy tickets of SHIB, period, right? And that's just the truth of it. That's exactly how it should go. And that's how it does go. If you read the rules and conditions, you'll understand that. They're very long. Sorry. Trying to break it down, trying to do some videos on it so everybody understands that. You want to talk about Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the other decentralized, 100% decentralized coin, the granddaddy of them all. Massive love shout out to Bitcoin. But Bitcoin came from basically the same thing. It came from nothing. The US confiscated it, and they sold it back for a shitload of money. Sorry, a whole lot of money. Okay, they sold it for a lot of money. $500 from roughly $5 for a Bitcoin. They confiscated Bitcoin. And then they sold it back to the community in the weirdest way possible. It was based in, do everybody remember this? Based in New York, 2011, I believe it was. Roughly around cold month, like October, November, 2020, 2011. And here's the best part. They threw everybody in jail, and the one that was doing the most, they sent him packing back to Europe. They threw everybody else in prison, confiscated all their coin, said what? Bitcoin's a fraud. Like, you can't make this stuff up. They called it a fraud. They said that they were using their money. Get a load of this. They threw them in jail because people were using cryptocurrency. Bad people, right? Mafia, guns, drugs. That's what they were saying. They said it to everybody. I remember this statement very clearly because everybody was like, I'm not buying Bitcoin. It's used for drugs. It's used for guns. It's used. They had everything in their book. But what do they do? What do they miss out on? What do people miss out? Even me, I missed it too. What about all the drugs and guns that are bought with the US dollar? Did they take the Supreme Court did they take the Supreme Court and put them and make them face the music? Hey, you're buying illegal guns with our currency. That's a big no-no. U.S. Congress is going to be suffering some major money overhauls. Are you kidding me? Never happens. Never, ever happens. But these poor saps. And what do they do? Well, we all this Bitcoin. What are we going to do with it? Oh, we're going to start selling it. We're going to make them, the people, buy it at our price. That's exactly what they did. Their $5 Bitcoin. Hey, they did the exact same thing with gold back in 2029. They got away with it then. Hey, what's the difference? It's the exact same idea. We got our Bitcoin. We're going to start selling it. $500 lots. 2,000. But they didn't tell you how they're going to, okay? So someone came out and said, okay, I'll buy that $500 of Bitcoin. Next level, $1,000 for the same amount of Bitcoin. So it doubled in price. Sold that. Highest bidder, 1,500. Sold that to the highest bidder, 2,000. Sold that to the highest bidder. You see where this is going? This is what they did. And they told everybody it was wrong. But why are you selling it then? They do what they have to do to make the most money that they possibly can. That's the bottom line. And they got it for free. The U.S. Congress got it for nothing, sold it back to the people for a fortune. That's what the U.S. does very well. And they kept doing it with the SEO. I talked about that already. And I think that